What's going on, fam? Welcome to your daily horoscope for Wednesday, January 13th, 2021. Brian here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much for being here. Sending you all my love, all my best right off the get-go, because that moon's going to come into Aquarius today after this new moon in Capricorn, where it just didn't feel like a new moon. I think it felt very much like a full moon. I put that out on Twitter. It was heavy with the dark moon in Capricorn and the new moon and Pluto being there. And that sun's going to be on top of Pluto today as well, coming into tomorrow. So we're looking at a lot of transformation, like a lot of renewal energy, just within our own personal lives and the goals that we're going after, the structures and things that are set in our life. And I think we're looking at things might be changing, for long-term plans, long-term goals. And, what are they bringing up? I think we have to ask that for ourselves today, kind of ask the question of why. Try and get deeper into things. Pluto wants to investigate and go very, very deep in and come out with some truth. So maybe some truth came out for you yesterday, maybe some truth's coming out today. We're going to have that moon come across Saturn. It's going to square Mars when it's in Aquarius, and it's going to come across Jupiter and square Uranus. So emotions are all over the place, and I think, there's something about the Aquarius moon that can disconnect from the emotions and look at the intellectual facts of things and be objective. I think when it comes to people and groups in our life, this is definitely going to bring up some tension. There could be a lot of disagreements. There could be a lot of actual, maybe investigative facts that Pluto is bringing out into our world today too, and we're going to have to, figure out what we want to connect to and what we want to disconnect from, and what is the real story. I think there could be a lot of stories. Venus is going to make the exact trine today to Uranus in Taurus. So I think when it comes to like where we want to connect to the people that share the values, and not get lost in other people's stories, not get lost in the values that aren't of your own, but connect to people that share the same values. And it's definitely an eccentric and electric day. I think that our feelings and emotions can be all over the place, and especially with the moon on Saturn, we have to be kind of responsible for what we give our emotion to. I think we need to make sure that we're looking, at the collective, at the world from a very, controlled space of like understanding that we're on a roller coaster right now, and we've never been on this roller coaster before, and it could take any sort of turn or loop. Not trying to just I would say predict, and not trying to just act like we know what exactly is in store, but how can we be like emotionally detached from the outcome and just be along for the ride. And I think that that's important, especially squaring Mars. I mean, the frustration is going to come up today, and I think we could be in a weird place, especially if we're too fixed on that we know it and that we have all the ideals and all the little nuances lined up. I think the most important thing to do is to be steady in our own values, be steady in what we want to connect to. And I think that that's the most important aspect today. And then that moon's going to square Uranus at the end of the day. So I mean, it's a roller coaster today. I think there could be a lot of things coming out with the collective, and that moon's going to be part of the Jupiter-Saturn semi-square to Neptune. So I think we have to look at, overall what's bringing the beauty, what's bringing the love, what's connecting us spiritually in life today, and disconnect from the projection of control, the projection of fear. I think that that's going to come up a lot today. I just would be shocked if big news didn't surface. This is one of those really powerful days, especially with Jupiter, less than a degree away from the exact square to Uranus. Like, there is just a major shift of ideals taking place from a higher perspective. And I think we just have to, the more we can just be on the ride and be excited for what the ride can bring us in our own personal worlds. How are we transforming and making sure that, we feel like we can build what we still want to? I think is very important. That moon is going to sextile Chiron in Aries today. And Venus is coming off the square to Chiron. So I think we really have to look past what we thought things need to look like, because they could bring up wounds or bring up sensitivities of feeling like our values are being tested. And I think our values are being tested on a grand scale. Even if it's not, so much being projected in the outside world, I think we're feeling it intensely in our individual lives. And with Venus in that trine to Uranus, this is a day where I would say money issues can be shaken up or, shown a different way. I think that when it comes to markets, I think you could see some crazy things take place. Crypto's been down for the last few days. I would expect with this trine that crypto actually, it either really recovers strong and goes up, or it's up for question of what the future holds, because if it just tanks hard, that would be an interesting thing to keep your eye on as well. So the crypto market, I think, is kind of up in the air. I think today is something, if you're into that market, today is going to show where it's going. And if there's a big spike, it's like crypto is where it's at. Crypto is going to go long for the long haul. If crypto tanks big time, it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But I think when it comes to money, Uranus is very internet, very technological, very innovative. And of course, Venus does rule money aspects, and Venus in Capricorn, it actually wants like the most reliable source of money. So I think this is going to show us like where the future is going when it comes to reliable, store of wealth, reliable stores of money, of trade, that kind of thing. So definitely a big day there. Today's a monster of a day. This whole week really is. But this moon in Aquarius is making major aspects to Mars, major aspects to Uranus, and it's with Jupiter and Saturn. I think that we can expand towards the end of the day and go into a wild new direction of what we want to connect to. But I think that we have to be able to disconnect from, the sensitivities. And especially with the moon in that semi-square to Neptune, today can be very sensitive. And it's one of those days too, and I say it often, but, because of the Jupiter-Saturn semi-square and the semi-square from Uranus and Mars to Neptune, like the media could be pushing something crazy that isn't actually of truth. And I think that's where we have to be really objective with our information, look at all sides. We do want to be hermetic with the North Node in Gemini. We got to look at all sides of every story to come to our own individual truths and to be able to objectify our truths and how we want to move forward in our environment. So I think it's going to be a sensitive day, which is not so much moon in Aquarius. I think we need to be very smart emotionally and not, especially with the moon on Saturn, let's be responsible here for what's coming in and look at all the sides and look at things objectively. There's a transformation going on, though, in a major way with the sun on Pluto in Capricorn. So let's see what this world brings today. I think that if a roller coaster appears, I think we need to hop on it and not expect it to go where we think it's going to go, but maybe just enjoy the ride. And the more that we enjoy the ride, we'll probably be able to not get sucked into a weird place emotionally, but we might be able to open doors and go into something amazing and be able to connect with that. People are so important. Connect to people that vibe with you. If people are attacking, if people are, shaming or putting you in a weird place, those are clear signs that there needs to be a disconnect. Wow, we got the Emperor again, but this time reversed. Been pulling this card a lot lately. Today could feel definitely like we need to find our empowerment. I think that today's such a roller coaster, especially with our emotions, values, money, people, the government. There's so much uncertainty. It's hard to know, it's hard to feel empowered with so much uncertainty. But I think, again, like I said in the horoscope earlier, is like the more you can like be mutable and shift and just go with the flow of the universe right now and not try to put something so set in stone into play, that I think you'll be able to really connect to something amazing, and it's not going to look maybe like you thought it was, but the empowerment would be to be objective. The empowerment would be to disconnect from what isn't on the vibe and connect to what goals you have or what big transformations you can make in your life and your environment and empower yourself there. I just definitely would say that there's going to be something that comes out today that makes us feel very, very not empowered. And I think we have to be very objective with whatever that may be. So let's look at the facts today. Let's see what's going on. It's a day. It's a day. So I love you guys very much. I hope you have a good one. I hope it manifests in the best way possible for you all as individuals. As always, I love you. Sending you my best. See you tomorrow. Peace.